I hadn't done a garden tour, so I'm going to try to be as quick as possible because there's lots of spots to show you guys. But this is my berry patch. I made a silly little sign out of a piece of wood that I found. But we have salmonberry. We've got 3 blueberry plants, 2 of which came from my last house. And this beautiful black satin thornless blackberry, which I keep trimming back. It has just been done tremendously well. And look at this year. It's just like insane amount of blackberries. Look at that. So cool. Then over here in the corner, this sad little guy, but he's doing well this year. Last year he didn't do so well, but this is my huckleberry. So I'm going to pause. Lots of late day sun, so it's great for pole beans. I just have to remember to trim them back when they get taller than me because otherwise I can't reach them. But we've got some sugar snaps growing here, some dragon tongue beans, and some blue lake pole beans, and some sugar magnolia tendrils. So should be a really interesting display of flowers and beans now that it's starting to warm up. Patty pan and yellow crookneck squash, but I'm not sure which survived the ravaging of some damn slugs, so we shall see. Back here, there's some cool pots that were here when I moved in, and some of my own pots, and I've got an assortment of things in here. This is really cool. This is a flower. It's Chinese lanterns, and I bought it last year at a plant sale that they have every year at the fairgrounds near me. And I thought it had died like everything else that I bought over the winter because it got really sub-freezing for several days. But all of a sudden it started growing, and before I yanked it out, I did a plant ID on it by taking some photos, and sure enough it survived. So it'll have these really cute little red lanterns on it. I'll post a link to what it'll look like in the video description, but I'm so happy because it looks so healthy and it looks super cute in this pot. This is going to be Gomphrena globosa mixed flowers and petunia. I can't even read my thing because the pen smeared, but we shall see if those grow in there. This is a tomatillo that I also bought at this year's plant sale. It's doing really well. This is a purple kohlrabi I also bought at the plant sale. This is going to be chocolate cherry sunflowers, Tigger melons, and this was one of my perennials that did survive, was this beautiful Provence lavender. It's done really well and it looks fabulous. Love it. It smells so good. I love pinching off a little blossom and rubbing it around, and oh, it just smells so good. But we're going to pause and I'll go to the next area. So ignore the weeds because I'm really hating this backyard at the moment. I fully weeded this like last year and the year before, and then the weeds have come back with a vengeance, and I don't really want to deal with them, so I'm not sure I will. So let's just not look at that. But these are some sugar snap peas growing up my windmill. Windmills are awesome for trellising peas and beans. To get them started, you just want to put some like bamboo poles, or last year I put like a string trellis on here. But once they start climbing, they'll go all the way up, and you got to just trim them when they get to the blades. And they're also, since the top here is only about 6 feet, so it's easy to reach the peas and beans. So highly recommend if you want to grow some peas and beans. These are my potatoes rather. This is a mix of yellow, purple, or yellow, blue, and red, because I call it blue. This is an eggplant that I also bought at the plant sale. This one is called Ping Tung Long, and it's a cool like long shaped one, so you'll see how that will do. This is some Yukon Gold potatoes, and these are Austrian Crescent fingerling potatoes. This is my first year trying this grow bag, and I'm actually quite impressed. I only planted this like 3 weeks ago, and it's grown to almost as much as these that were planted over 2 months ago. So, yeah, so very impressed. I think because it's black maybe helps. I did notice this one grew faster than this one, so maybe I always need to use darker pots and not use these pale pots because they don't absorb the heat from the sun as well. So yeah, definitely check out these grow bags. I will post a link to them. It does have a little door. You're supposed to be able to, like, you know, remove potatoes, but I don't know. I feel like if you open the door, then your whole plants are the dirt's just going to pour out. So I may not even do that, but just keep that in mind. You might not want to open the door and ruin your plants. This over here is a Cherokee purple heirloom tomato that again came from the plant sale. And let's go to the next. Oh, wait a minute. We got one thing over here. This is Boston pickling cucumbers. I'm not sure how I'm going to grow them on the fence here, but we'll see. This is my first of my 3 raised beds. This is some Oregon snow peas. They're doing really well. I've already been eating them. They're delicious, super sweet. I haven't even picked any to bring inside and eat because I always just pick them and eat them. There is the Joe's Best medium tomato and my lemon boy, which is my favorite tomato of all. And I think this thing is striped Roma heirloom tomato. And we've got a chocolate cherry tomato. And then this is broccolini. Broccolini is really cool. It's also called sprouting broccoli. Instead of growing and waiting till you have that big broccoli head, it grows these little sprouts, and you can see they're already starting to form down here. And so as they grow, you can just snap them off and then steam them or air fryer roast them is what I like to do. And they're so delicious. And I love this because you can eat from these same plants for months instead of just waiting for months to grow one broccoli head. So I much prefer growing these to the broccoli heads. This is my garlic, which is almost done. I've got this huge one is elephant garlic, and the other one, I think it was red something. So we shall see how these come out. That should be pretty soon. I just have to wait for the vegetation to die down. We're going to go over here to the gutters. This gutters, I did something that was very against my Virgo anal retentive gardening self. What I did was I put a bunch of my different lettuce seeds, mixed them together, and then I just planted them. So this is going to be a very crazy, colorful mix of like 9 different types of lettuces. Up here, I'm doing some experiments. I've got a Thai lavender frog egg eggplant, which is a tiny eggplant. This is a mix of flowers that grow really low. This is the dwarf orange hat tomatoes, which I grow in my hydroponic gardens inside. Looks like I dropped some seeds over here, but we shall see how those do. This is red chili peppers, and then this is red cherry tomatoes. So you can see the little sprouts starting to come up. Over here, I think I put some more of the lettuces are up here. And then these were lettuces that I started out with at the beginning of spring with some starts. So they're well on their way. I can start picking from them actually now. And then this is some watermelon radishes. So we're at our second raised bed. And this is my mixed cauliflower. This one I believe is going to be cheddar. It's already forming the head. I've got 2 types of beans here. I've got some Italian Romano heirloom pole beans, and I've got some Cranberry heirloom pole beans. They've been kind of slow. It's been a rather chilly spring, so the beans haven't been so happy, but they're starting to climb now, so we shall see how those do. This might be, and I'll show you when I get up front, this might actually be a Romanesco, not what I bought, because see how the leaves are very curly? Like compare that to that. See how they're so curly? It's kind of interesting because the Romanesco grows fractals, and so it's kind of this curving pattern, and the leaves are curled too, which I think is really cool. I mean, nature is just amazing, right? But so yeah, I think this might be another Romanesco, which is cool because I love Romanesco, but these are obviously the regular ones. Then over here, this poor guy got knocked down in the wind the other day. I don't think he's gonna make it, but I keep propping him up. But yeah, I think he's gonna croak. And then I had an old base of a windmill, and I put it in here, and I've got some beans that I've planted that I definitely need to water because they're not doing anything yet. This is my strawberry patch. I've had the same strawberry patch from 6 plants, 3 quinault and 3 shuksan that I bought 10 years ago. And then when I moved here, I moved about 30 plants and gave away probably 100 plants. And this year, somebody pooped in the strawberry patch, and so I had to replant this whole area here. It was completely dead with a big pile of poop. So yeah, really lovely. But I cleaned it all out, and I planted like 8 new plants, I think. And they have been amazing. I've been picking berries every day. I have like 1.5 pounds of them in the freezer because I'm just getting so many at once. But pretty awesome. But now I'm going to go out front and show you what we got out there. I had a bunch of tulips out here that I'm just waiting for them to finish dying off so I can dig them up. And then we have some more of that Joe's Best cauliflower mix. And this is one of the ones I want to show you is the example of the Romanescos. See these curly leaves? And then look at that cool, see the fractals? I mean, how cool is that? And then there's a much larger one over here. Isn't that awesome? And don't worry, that black stuff is just thistle seed from this feeder up here. But yeah, so I got that growing. I've got a watermelon, which I don't know if it's going to survive because it's shielded by this guy. And then more of the cauliflower. And again, not sure what's what. We shall see. But yeah, you can definitely see the difference in these leaves. The curliness and the straight. So that would be a regular one. This would be Romanesco. Romanesco. That is likely a Romanesco as well. So cool. I love Romanesco. It's really delicious. So I hope you guys are gardening, planting fun stuff. Oh, wait a minute. One last thing. One last thing to show. We have some beans over here. And I'm not sure what they are. I think they're blue like pole beans. Or Kentucky Wonders, actually. But they're looking awful yellow, which I'm not sure why. But we shall see how they do.